Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another album ranking, first one of a new week. And we're starting off this week with a viewer's request. I can't remember who asked for this. We're trying to work out who's asked for what. So if you asked for this, will you say, "It were me"? So what we're going to do with Mahogany Rush is we're going to split it. We're going to look at the albums of Mahogany Rush this week, and we'll have a look at Frank Marino's solo stuff next week, because you can't do one without t'other. So Mahogany Rush, from Canada of course, led by guitarist Frank Marino. They were formed in Quebec, Montreal, in 1969. Very popular in the 1970s, and they played such large venues as the California Jam 2. But what people remember Mahogany Rush for are the soaring lead guitars from Frank Marino, playing in the vein of Jimi Hendrix, and also always supported by two great musicians. On the bass we had Paul Harwood and drummer Jimmy Ayub, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And occasionally we had Frank's brother Vince on guitar. Great band. I love these. I was first introduced to them in 1980, and I've been a fan since. I've got all their albums. That's how good I like them. So this was a pleasure to do. Released under the name Mahogany Rush. There are 8 albums. So we'll have a look at these 8 albums. So coming in at number 8, we go to an album that was accredited to Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. It's released in the year 2000, and it is called The Eye of the Storm. The only original member of the band is Frank Marino on this, who does guitars, vocals, keyboards and timpani. Mick Lane plays rhythm guitar, Peter Dowse on the bass, and Dave Good plays the drums. Starts off with an intro, very long intro, called Storm Warning. It's just one of these weird introductions. It's got wind, rain, and goes on a little bit too long for me. 30 seconds would have been enough, because it goes into a great track then called Eye of the Storm. Straight away, you haven't heard much from Frank Marino in years, and he comes with this and you go, wow, this is good. He can still play the guitar, he's still singing. But unfortunately now he's retired due to ill health. So it's a shame, but he was still cranking out in 2000. I don't mind it, it's okay. And then we get a track called He's Calling. I do like this track. The guitar work is great from Frank Marino. He can still do the business. Then we get a track called Learned My Lesson Well. This is classic to me, Mahogany Rush. Even though it's not the trio, it still sounds like Mahogany Rush. You put this on the first time you hear it, go, yeah, that's Mahogany Rush. It's got all the things you expect, the great bass and guitar work, the great vocal from Frank, really good. Then we have a track called Heat at the Moment. Now there's 3 really long tracks on here, both all over 10 minutes, and this one's probably the worst one. It's okay up to about 4 or 5 minutes, and then the rest of the track is taken over by just Frank Marino endless guitar solos. Now when you listen to it on live albums, it's got atmosphere and you don't mind, and you watch it on DVDs and all that, it's great. But when you want to listen to it on a studio album, doesn't do anything for me. Window to the World, solid rock tracks, great guitar playing from Frank on that. And then we've got my favourite track, and it's called Since You Came Into My Life. Love this. It's got a great guitar solo on it. The rhythm guitars on this from this chap called Mick Lane. Really complements Frank very well. It's a good track. Then we get a track called Avalon. Great track. It's a bit of one of them jazzy sounding rock tracks that Mahogany Rush were known for. Really like this. And then the last track is a long track, but it's the best one of the long tracks. It's called Ordinary Man. It's got the right balance here. You've got some great playing, and it flows well, and it's got 2 or 3 guitar solos in it, but they're not all jammed together, and you don't get bored with it. Really good track. This is a good album, because I do like all these albums, but I think the only downside of this is that some of the tracks are far too long, and you sort of lose interest. But it's an absolute corker of an album, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 7, we go to the 6th album now, from 1979, and it's Tales of the Unexpected. Now this is one of those half studio albums, half live albums. On here we've got the classic lineup: Frank Marino on guitars and vocals and synths. Bass guitar is Paul Harwood, drums Jimmy Ayub, and on backing vocals is Nanette Workman. So side 1 is the studio stuff. So first track, Sister Change. Love this. That funky sound, funky bass line with a bit of jazzy guitar. Great track. Great drumming from Jim. Then we get what a cover, and you're always going to get something at least once in a Mahogany Rush by Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower, written by Bob Dylan, of course, but Jimi Hendrix made it more famous. Don't mind this version. Frank does a good job on the vocal, and the guitar is solid. He's a big Jimi Hendrix fan, is Frank Marino, so you know, very, very good version. Then they do another cover, and it's not that brilliant. It's a cover of Norwegian Wood, Beatles. I don't like it. And then we get my favourite track on the album, the Tales of the Unexpected. Great bass line from Paul on this. Got Frank's great guitar work going on that lovely bass line. Solid track. Then on side 2 you get the live stuff. Now these tracks don't appear on any other album, so this is just great. So the first track you get is Down Down Down. Absolutely belting. It's loud, great guitar work, atmosphere is terrific. The 3 of them playing together is brilliant on that. I like that track. Door of Illusion, drumming here is brilliant from Jimmy. Solid track. Then we get Woman. I love the guitar solo on this. It's absolutely brilliant. Great stuff on that one. And then we get Bottom of the Barrel. Amazing track. That band are on fire. You know, very tight unit with some great guitar work. I do like this album. The live stuff is amazing, and yes, we will do it. I'm sure there will be a Mahogany Rush live album ranking at some stage, because they are fantastic live. Okay, people say it's a bit of a cheapskate when you fill an album with live tracks, but I think this is a good album. I enjoy listening to this, so I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 6, we go to the debut album from 1972, and it's called Maxoom. Frank Marino, Paul Harwood, James Ayabub, as he goes on this one. Additional people on here, we've got Phil Betch on piano on blues, and Johnny McDermott on organ on New Beginning. First track is the title track, Maxoom. It's got some great guitar bits, but it's not very coherent. It's sort of disjointed in places. It's okay, but you know, it doesn't flow very well. Then we get Buddy I love this track. It is so mellow and laid back. Frank's almost laying down playing this. The guitar solo on this is terrific. Then we get Magic Man. Love this track as well. Jimmy's drumming on this is brilliant. Good solo. It's a good track. Funky Woman. Great funky sound. The great vocal from Frank. Really strong. I do like the bass from Paul in this. Really drives the song. Then we get Madness. A good track again. Some nice gentle guitar from Frank. Amongst the great rocking, some great drumming from Jimmy again. All in Your Mind. Tell the Jimi Hendrix Experience influence on this track. The start of it is very them, but it's great. It's a great track. Then we get my favourite track on here. It's called Blues. The piano from on here from Phil Betch is fantastic. The great bluesy sounding guitar from Frank. It's a brilliant track. Love that. Then we get Boardwalk Lady. Never been keen on this one. I do like the solo, but this is the rest of the track that I'm not keen on. Back on Home. Solid rock track. Jim's drumming is just awesome on this. Frank's on fire. Then The New Beginning, you get that lovely rich Hammond organ from Johnny McDermott. Really drive the song along. It's fantastic. A very solid debut album from Mahogany Rush. Here the potential. Frank's guitar playing is so good on this. Apart from one track, I like every track on this album, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, then coming in at 5, we've got the third album, released in 1975. It's called Strange Universe. The classic lineup: Frank, Paul and Jimmy. First track on here is The Tales of the Spanish Warrior. Great track. Jimmy's drumming on this really gets the album off to a great start. Some really good guitar work on that. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get The King Who Stole the Universe. It's one of those funky soulful tracks that Mahogany Rush done. The bass line from Paul is fantastic. Solid track. And then Satisfy Your Soul. This is a nice 12-bar boogie rock track. There's nothing wrong with a bit of 12-bar boogie. It's fantastic. Land of a Thousand Nights, my favourite track on the album. The guitar effects on this are superb. It's a great solo as well. Awesome track. Moonlight Lady. I don't know what they were musically. It sounds great, but I don't know what they were doing with Frank's vocal on here. It sounds a little bit out there. It's echoey, and the effect. Does it work? I don't think it does. It sounds like he's singing it in the bathroom, and it doesn't sound right to me. Dancing Lady. Loving the drums. It's all bongos on this. Very solid track. A bit different, but very good. Then we get, once again, probably the weakest track on the album. Although, again, you've got a great guitar solo. Trying Away, great rock track this is. The solo on this is probably the best on the album. The drumming just fits perfect. The bass line from Paul is just solid as you like. Then we get Dear Music, a little bit different for them. It's a little gentle rock track, and I quite like it. Really good. And the last track is the title track, Strange Universe. Awesome. The effects on this are brilliant. I don't know what they are, but it absolutely awesome stuff. Love that track. Okay, yet another solid album with some great tracks on here, some classics. I love playing this album. Played it nice and loud, crank it up, can't go wrong. So I'll give this an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, then coming at number 4, we've got the second album now, released in 1974. It's Frank, Paul and Jimmy, and Phil Betch is back on the keyboards. So the first track on Child of the Novelty is called Look Outside. I love this. Again, it starts off like a Jimi Hendrix Experience, but there's nothing wrong in that. That's why I love the track. Through the Milky Way. Love Paul's bass line in this. It really adds to the atmosphere on this track. The drumming that Jimmy does around that bass line, the engine room on this is great. Throw in Frank's great vocals and a good guitar solo, you've got a really good track. Talking about a feeling, certainly got that Jimi Hendrix feel to it. So amazing guitar work. Great track. And we get the title track, Child of the Novelty. Great track. Again, every track's great. The guitar work is soft as well. I just love it. It's just very gentle, especially when there's, you know, called The Child, and it's got that childlike sound, not aggressive, just gentle. Lovely track. Making My Way, love the start of this. It's a really strong rock track. A new rock and roll. To me, it's all about Paul and Jimmy on this. They work so well in tandem. Then you've got Frank all over it as well. Great track. Changing, I love the guitar on this. One of the best solos Frank ever did on a track. It's just amazing. Plastic Man. Bit of wah wah now. You know how I love the wah wah. Absolutely amazing how he controls that sound. Then we get a thing called Plastic Man. No, don't. We have a thing called Guitar War. Plastic Man's the one with the wah wah on it. Right, Guitar War, probably one of the tracks on the album I don't like. Doesn't do anything for me. It's just lots of guitar noises, but they're not coherent guitar noises. Then we get one of my favourite tracks by Mahogany Rush full stop. It's called Change of Space. What I like about this is that the drumming from Jimmy just really sets the tone. Then comes in that lovely bass. I've got some great guitar work on this. It's very prog as well. Very prog rock. It's a fantastic track. Great way to end the album. I love this. Apart from that guitar work, and I think if there was a better track on there, this would be a lot higher. But I'll give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10 because I do love playing that. I just skip that rubbishy track and there we are. Okay then, top 3. This was tough. Oof. Well, 2 and 3 was tough. Number 1 was never going to be doubted. So, coming in at number 3, you got a 1977 and the World Anthem album, 5th album. Usual people, even Phil Betch is back on the synthesizer doing a solo. First track on here is called A Requiem for a Sinner. I love the keyboards on this. It's a really good sound. It's, you know, 1977 keyboards and synthesizer weren't the in thing, but it's great vocal from Frank on this one. Superb track. Then we get Hey Little Lover. Paul's bass line is terrific, really drives the song along. Then we get Broken Heart Blues. Ferocious guitar playing here from Frank. Absolutely belter. Love that track. In My Ways, another fantastic track. My favourite on the album. The Great drumming from Jimmy on this. Frank's guitar all over it, absolutely belting. The World Anthem, very commercial, very radio friendly, but it's all right. Look at Me, this is a brilliant jazzy blues number. Love the gentleness of the guitar on it. It is just such a great track. Then we get Lady. This is the one with the synthesizer solo from Phil Betch. It's fantastic. Really adds a different dimension to this track. I love that I love how it changes pace halfway through the middle, and that the guitar and the synth really is good. Then we get the long track, Try for Freedom. I do like this. A little bit proggy, some great guitar work. Excellent track. Good way to end the album. It's just another solid album. Apart from that, the commercial sounding track, it's still a brilliant album. So I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay, my number 2 then is the 4th album, Mahogany Rush IV. It was released in 1976. It's the classic. There's 3 of them, Jimmy, Frank and Paul. First track is called I'm Going Away. A great opener. Bit space rocky as well, ambient, some lovely guitar effects. Fantastic track. Then we get my favourite track on here. It's called Man at the Back Door. I love this. It's just the funky guitar work from Frank and that great bass line that sort of complements Frank's playing. Excellent track. The Answer, again, we've got Paul's bass line that just sort of drives this song along, and then got the twists and turns of Jimmy's drumming round that bass line. Really good. Jive Baby, I love this funky rock. The guitar effects are brilliant from Frank. Great vocal as well. It's Begun to Rain. This is so gentle. Really shows that, you know, that Frank can not just play good rock and great solos. He can play gentle stuff, and it's really good. Dragonfly, some great effects on here. That funky guitar sound that he produces. Some great vocal from Frank on that as well. Then we get Little Sexy Annie. The guitar at the beginning of this is amazing. No one expected that, but it's really good. I love Jimmy's drumming on this. Moonwalk, probably some of Jimmy's best drumming he's done in the band. It works brilliantly. The keyboard sounds great on this. It's right out the top drawer. Then we get this little mini epic called 4, The Emperor. This is a good mixture of rock and rock prop. One minute you've got this really heavy riff, and then you get some strings and some driving riffs and little guitar pieces. Brilliant track. Great way to end the album. A solid album from top to bottom, this one. Not a bad track on it. You've got different sorts of music. You've got the heavy rock, you've got the bluesy rock, you've got soulful, jazzy. It's just a brilliant album, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. So my number 1 album is the album that really got me into this band. That's why it is my number 1 album. Came out in 1980. It's the 7th album, and it's called Who's Next? And it's Frank, Paul and Jimmy, and on rhythm guitar on this one is Frank's brother Vince. This opens up with a track that really got me into this band. You've Got Living. First time I heard this is on that compilation album Max Attack. Totally blew me away, so I had to go and buy the album, and it took a little while because I had to save up for it. And this is probably my favourite track by Mahogany Rush, because it was that first one I ever heard. I still love this to this day. It's just got everything on it. Great vocals, great playing, brilliant. Then we got Finishing Line. Just love this. It's that opening riff. Absolute blew me away when I put this album on for the first time. There was a cassette as well. Got this on cassette so I could play it in my Walkman. Great drumming on from Jimmy. I love this. Then we get Rock Me Baby. This is a great bluesy rock number. The rhythm guitar from Vince on this is terrific. My second favourite track on the album. Great cover of a B.B. King track, of course. Something's Coming Our Way. Brilliant drumming from Jimmy. The double guitar on this really is brilliant. Really adds to it. It's great riffs on this. Now, then they do Roadhouse Blues. Now, I've heard some really dodgy covers of this, and I've heard some good ones. Best one, of course, is The Doors. Status Quo is cool, and this is brilliant. I love this version of it. Frank's brilliant on this. His guitar is brilliant. The worst version of this, of course, Deep Purple's, but from one of my favourite bands, but that is just an awesome version. Then we got Loved by You. First time I heard this, it blew me away. I love the bass line from Paul. It's just absolutely out the top drawer. A great blues rock number. Love that. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This does contain one of my favourite solos from Frank. Another great performance on the drums from Jimmy. It's just an amazing track, especially under the headphones. It's absolutely brilliant. Then we get another cover, and it's a cover of Mona and Bo Diddley. But what makes it, this is Jimmy's great drumming on it, and Frank's amazing guitar work. Great way to end the album. Okay, this is my favourite album. I think it was probably a bit more, it's a sentimental one because it was the first one I ever bought. I played this to death. I mean, the covers are good. It's not very often I like albums with covers on, but I think this has got such a great place in my record collection, and it, you know, when I first heard this, it just totally blew me away, and that's probably one of my favourite albums of growing up. And this is what really, you know, one of the bands that really got me really into this genre of music as well. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. So there we go, a little bit of Mahogany Rush on a Monday morning. Next week we'll just take a quick look at those solo albums that are as good as these as in my books. So I've really enjoyed doing this one. I love talking about this. A lot of people don't really get into them, but I've been there since 1980. I know I came on board very late as a 12, 13-year-old, but they are still one of my favourite trio rock bands. Okay, Vince joined them in on this one, but to me, you know, most of their work is the trio. Okay, I'll be back later with a classic album, and it's sort of a very good classic. It's Mike Oldfield's Boxed, the first box set he did. So we'll have a look at that. So I will see you later, and bye for now.